Good morning, welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. It isn't as cold as what I thought it was going to be today, but where did we go from yesterday? Wilfred Nancy, and a lot of Celtic fans were maybe hoping that this would be the day that Wilfred Nancy's tactics, his style, the players would get it, he had a bit more time on the training pitch, and it would all fall into place. It didn't happen. Wilfred Nancy blaming the players, Chris Sutton blaming the players. Are the players to blame for this situation? Or is it the fact that the manager's changing the tactics too quick and the players just don't get it? You seen Wilfred Nancy yesterday at the game being very, very animated, trying to get his point across. I think Callum McGregor spent more time talking to Wilfred Nancy on the touchline. And don't get me that it was, there's a language barrier. The guy worked in America for years. So you can obviously, and even Alistair Johnson says that he speaks good English. The issue is that the manager's made far too many changes to the team. We all know this as fans. How can you make so many changes to a winning team and a winning formation when... Let's get to Chris Sutton first of all. Chris Sutton is blaming the players, saying that it's the players' fault. The players aren't adapting quick enough. The players aren't good enough to adapt quick enough to the way that the manager wants to play. Martin O'Neill came into Celtic with Sean Maloney, and it was interesting to see Sean Maloney and Stephen McManus, who are still at the club, sitting in the stands yesterday, looking at what was developing on the pitch, and also the fact that there was a Celtic player who's currently injured, who looked rather shocked during the game. Alistair Johnson, he looked completely shocked at what was going on the pitch also. These players, a lot of these players at the clubs have won a lot of trophies. Callum McGregor knows how to win things. It comes down to one thing and one thing only: formation change, and it's been far too much too quick. When I seen the lineup yesterday, I thought we were going to go to a back four. It looks like we went to a back three, then to a back four. He's pulling the players all over the place. There's no settled formation. I try to be as positive as I can about the manager situation. Now, given time, you never know. The manager may be able to turn this around. Can Wilfred Nancy really turn this Celtic team around and get them playing? Will he be given the time? There was big protests. There was protests outside Celtic Park last night, and about time, as far as I'm concerned. I think it happens, and I'm going to try and pop into Celtic Park this afternoon. Just to see what's going on. So keep an eye out for that video later today if I can get it up. If not, it'll be tomorrow once I land. The only people that are blamed for this are obviously the board. The board have got us into this situation by not backing the manager in the summer, not backing him, not getting the players in quick enough. The board then brought in Martin O'Neill, which was fantastic. Martin O'Neill turned it around, steadied the ship. And then they brought in the man that thought they could take us forward. I thought it was the right time to bring the man in because we need to get him. We need to have a manager that is going to be here to have this window and the next window to make sure that we can qualify for the Champions League. As it stands just now, we went from a team that was able to beat Feyenoord in Europe, steady the ship when it comes to league, and look a bit more solid and harder to beat. Now we're running around like headless chickens, and the manager jumping about at the sidelines, running halfway up the pitch, trying to get his players to play in a position. It doesn't seem to be working. We've got 2 games this week coming up. We'll be doing live watch-alongs come Wednesday. Dundee United and then Aberdeen at the weekend. Massive games. And if we do not get the desired result in those 2 games, will it be time to call time on Wilfred Nancy? Will he be the quickest manager ever at Celtic Park? Will he have the shortest tenure ever as a manager? Full-time manager. Remember, Martin O'Neill was just an interim manager. This guy's in on a full-time basis on a 2.5-year contract. Will he even see out half a year, never mind 2 years at Celtic? And I know I'm laughing because it's sitting talking to my brother and my dad and everyone yesterday, and when I think about all the times that I was at Hampden between 2010 and 2020, and the fantastic run that we'd been on over those years, and all the finals that I'd been at, over those years before I moved to Spain, and to think how far we've regressed. And it's just terrible to see. It's heartbreaking. But it's comical at the same time, because if you don't laugh, you're just going to get more and more angry. And I think that maybe laughing about it is just a nervous disposition of the fact that what a mess. Are Celtic in crisis? It's looking more and more like it every single day. Anyway, it's just a quick one this morning. Tell me your thoughts about the game in the comment. I mean, could the players have done any better? Could we have done better with Cameron Carter-Vickers or Alistair Johnston or Jota? Where does Jota fit into this situation? There's a lot of comments going around about that Callum McGregor had a massive fallout with the manager already. He's been on the phone to Nicholson and told him to get this situation sorted. Will the manager be here in a week's time? And that's a serious question. Can he turn this around? Does he have the players? Or, like Chris Sutton, do you think it's the players that are to blame and not the manager?